Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be looking at my 2024 presidential election prediction. If you guys do enjoy the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on that little bell, and follow all socials in the description down below. And without further ado, let's get into the video. And so, as of right now, guys, Joe Biden, historically unpopular incumbent, down almost 16 points in the RCP aggregate. Donald Trump is leading the RCP national popular vote by 1.1 percentage points, which swings the popular vote 5.6 percentage points from the original margin of 4.5 points that Joe Biden got in 2020 in the popular vote. And so because of that, Donald Trump is in a very good position in order to win the 2024 presidential election. I'm going to be using the 2020 results as well as this model that I have constructed right here to fuel my assessment and my prediction. Now, I am going to go back and start using the plus 15 margin as the safe margin instead of plus 10. So you guys could kind of compare with previous elections the margins, because other margins usually have always been plus 15, and a lot of YouTubers and me started using plus 10 as safe, but I'm gonna go back and start using plus 15 as safe as of right now. And so without further ado, let's get into it. And so as of right now, the safe Republican states, Idaho, Utah, all of these, even though the polling in Utah looks kind of close, I feel like the state is still going to vote for Donald Trump by over 15 points. I mean, it could be closer than 2020. Who knows? The state is a worry for Republicans in the future. However, I do think that it's still going to vote over a 15-point margin nonetheless as of right now. So these are all of the safe Republican states as of now. The first likely states that I would characterize are Iowa and Ohio, but before I do that, let's go over the safe Democratic states. The safe Democratic states are California, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Vermont, Maryland, and DC, leaving Joe Biden with only 85 safe electoral votes. And actually, you could technically give him the first congressional district in Maine. Guys, that's it. Those are all of his safe states. Everything else is less than a 15-point win, which is completely crazy to even think about. For the likely Democratic states, the states of Washington, Oregon, Colorado are going to be in that likely category. Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware are also going to be in there, and Rhode Island would actually be safe. These are all going to be in the likely Democratic category. If we look at the states of Illinois and New York, these are actually going to fall under the 15-point margins. Donald Trump, improving with African American voters, is probably going to be able to make the margins under 15 points. Illinois will probably be around a 10-point-ish win for Biden, and Biden will probably win New York by maybe 11 or 12 points as of right now, even though the polls do have Biden under a 10-point victory as of the past couple of months in the state of New York. For the likely Republican states, you're going to have the states of Alaska, Texas, Iowa, Ohio, and Florida in that category, including the state of North Carolina. And I actually forgot to do these safe, and including the likely second congressional district in Maine, which puts Donald Trump at 235 electoral college votes to Joe Biden's 191. If you're looking at the states, I mean, Texas, the southern border area will probably end up trending, towards Republicans, due to the border issue and things like that. And a lot of the suburbs are going to go back. I think in Florida, Donald Trump's probably going to flip back Miami-Dade County and possibly get Palm Beach pretty close and win back Pinellas and Duval County, making the state ultra red. North Carolina has a very, competent, GOP there. They have Mark Robinson running for governor there. The state has consistently voted Republican the last couple of cycles, ever since 2008, where Obama barely won it in a Democrat +7 national environment. And so because of that, I just can't see the state really going to a Democrat or even being under a 5-point win as of right now, especially with Trump on the ballot. And if you look at the states of Ohio and Iowa, they're probably going to be anywhere from 10 to 13-point wins as of right now. The states are going to swing in favor of Donald Trump this cycle, and I think they're going to be pretty easy victories for the former president. If you look at the lean Democratic states, I would characterize New Mexico, Virginia, and New Hampshire in the lean Democratic category, including Maine at large and the 2nd Congressional District of Nebraska. If you look at the state of New Mexico, this state really is the majority Hispanic state, and if Trump is gaining with Hispanics to the point where he's almost winning them or even ahead of them in some polls, I do think he is probably going to get the state under a 5-point margin, even though that is not what my model says. My model still has it as a 5.6 victory, but I think in my estimation it'll probably be under a 5-point victory. The state of Virginia is probably going to be a 2 to 3 point win for Biden, depending on how much the rules turn out for Trump. But I think this is going to get a lot closer. New Hampshire is probably a 1 or 2 point victory. Maine at large, probably a 1.5 to 2.5 points. And the 2nd Congressional District of Nebraska is like a 1.5 to a 2.5 point win for Biden. Now, the lean Republican states, you could put the state of Georgia in there. The state of Georgia, really voted for Biden in 2020 due to high African-American turnout. But because that's probably not going to happen, since Biden's favorabilities with African-American voters is historically low, he will probably underperform here, which will allow him to lose the state by maybe 2 to 3 points. If you look at the state of Wisconsin, he will probably win the state of Wisconsin by possibly a lean margin, possibly by 3 points, improving in the wild counties and running it up in northern Wisconsin. In the state of Michigan, I'm actually going to give it to him by about a lean margin as of right now, probably a 2-point win. He'll probably improve in the Detroit area with African-American support trending his way. Pennsylvania will also be that lean state that ends up going to him as well. However, my model does currently have the state of Michigan voting to the right of Pennsylvania, which I think as of right now could happen. I think that this is one of the states where Biden could potentially turn out more voters than he did the previous time, since it is a highly contested swing state. So Donald Trump is really going to have to focus getting his turnout up for the most part. And I think Donald Trump is going to be able to accomplish that and probably win the state by a 1.5 depending on how much voters turn out that day. I think in the state of Nevada, it's pretty safe to say that possibly he does win it by about, just a 1.5. He's probably going to shift Clark County a little bit to the right, and because of that, he probably will win the state by about a point or so. In the last 2 states, which are the tilt states this election, are Minnesota and Arizona, with Minnesota actually being tilt Democrat. I think that Trump is going to pull off a surprise. It's kind of almost going to be a sleeper flip. However, I think as of right now, Biden would probably still hold on to it, since its long history of voting Democratic has just been going on for so long. I think maybe it's just not enough yet to go this cycle. And, Donald Trump in Arizona, even though the state of Arizona is very left trending, if Trump is really winning the popular vote, I do think he would actually be able to win the state. Even if he doesn't win Maricopa County, he probably narrowly ends up taking the state at that point in time, which puts Donald Trump at 312 electoral college votes to Joe Biden's 226 electoral college votes. If you guys did enjoy the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that little bell, and follow all social media in the link down below. And I hope to see you guys very soon.